Hello, everyone. A very good afternoon to all of you. I hope all of you all are doing fine and you guys are at home and you guys are safe. Um, okay, so today, so okay, let some more people join in and then we can start our live on the topic. In the meantime, I would like to know that I hope, first of all, if somebody can just tell me that whether you can hear me clearly, am I audible? And just give me a thumbs up, please. And secondly, I hope you guys are taking care of yourself, your physical health, the mental health, the emotional health, and of course, your spiritual health. So I hope you guys are taking care of yourself. Thank you for joining me for this live. Um, so today my topic is with reference to why should one hire um, people who are skilled for that particular job. Now, I thought of this going live on this topic, keeping in view a story which I'm going to share with all of you all. So before that, I will just introduce myself. I am Madhu Ranjit Singh. I am an interior designer, an image consultant, a fitness trainer, and Mrs. India Universe 2018 Western Region. And we all are at home now, and we have a lot of time to like take care of ourselves, think about what's going on in our life, and upgrade. Now, before I get on to the topic, I would like to share a very small little story with you all. Now, there was this village, and in that village, there was this painter, an artist, an artist who used to do very good portraits. So once what he did was that he made a portrait, a very beautiful portrait of the king, and he goes and he gifts it to the king. And the king was taken by a surprise because it had come out beautiful and he had done a wonderful job. So the king, the minute he saw the portrait, and he was like, wow, he was very much impressed. Now what he did after that was even amazing. He removed some gold coins and he gave it to the painter. And also, in order to just out of gratitude, he also offered him a ministerial post in his court. And this guy was very happy, and he accepted that post. Now what happened was, after all this happened, there was during the course of the time, the painter, who is now supposed to be a minister in the court, started taking certain decisions which were with which the common man, the janta, started getting a lot of hassles, and they started getting into a lot of hassles, and they started having a lot of problems. Now the painter was not equipped with the minister post. He was not very he had no clue about politics. He had no clue about handling that post and the job. So he was taking wrong decisions, and the janta was like getting affected, and so there was a lot of problems that was happening. Then what happened was, one day, all these janta, they all come together and they decide to take an action. And what they do is that they hop across and they get in touch with the famous Mr. Tenali Rama. And then So once he goes to these people approach Mr. Tenali Raman. So they say they tell, they narrate the whole story and they tell what the problems are and stuff like that. Once Tenali Raman understands their problems, he makes a plan in his mind. And what he does is that he next day in the court, when he goes and he meets the king, so he tells the king, he invites the king for his anniversary. He says that tomorrow, sir, tomorrow it's my wedding anniversary, and I invite you along with your family for a feast at my house. So the king is like very happy, and he says, "Of course, I'll be there. We all will be there." And Mr. Tenali Raman is happy. Now the next day, when the king and his family is supposed to come to Tenali Raman's house, what Tenali Raman has done is that he calls a group, few 4 5 people who are carpenters. So he calls these carpenters home, and he gives them a bunch of gold. Okay, a whole lot of gold he gives it to each one of them. And he says that you have to, all of you all have to cook the feast. The king is supposed to visit my house along with his family, and you guys need to cook the feast for my guests. So the carpenters were very happy with receiving the gold and stuff like that. So they were okay with it. They said, "Okay, fine, ठीक है, खाना ही बनाना है, we'll prepare." So then they get into cooking, and within 1 hour, the food is like almost ready. And and in the meantime, the king comes along with his family. Tenali Raman is very courteous and आके उनको बिठाते हैं, स्वागत करते हैं, सब करते हैं. And the table is all laid with so much of food on the table. And the guests, the king, and everybody is like very eager to start on to the feast. Now, as the ritual goes, the king starts tasting the food, and then the rest of the people follow. Now, what happens then is very interesting. Is that when all these people, when they are eating and when they taste the food, the food their mouth and the throat and everything starts burning, and they ask for water, and they are not able to eat, and they feel very uncomfortable. And then the king loses his temper, and he gets very angry on Mr. Tenali Raman, and he says ki, Tenali Raman, what happened to your cook? Your cook doesn't know to make food, and he has made such an awful food, and it's so spicy. We are not able to eat, and there is too much of salt, and whole lot of and then there complaints. And so Mr. Tenali Raman smiles, and he tells the king that, "Sir, even a painter cannot take ministerial decisions. And these guys who have cooked the food are not my cooks, they are the carpenters." The minute Tenali Raman says this, and the king gets the message very, very loud and clear. Now, the message from this, what we get is that when you hire the right kind of people for the right job, you get the right kind of results. Now, be it an interior designer, be it or any other specialized job or whatever. So when we talk about the skilled jobs, it is very, very important to hire the people who possess that skill. And so here, this was the story, and I wanted to convey this message. Now we will come to the points as to why interior designers should be hired in order to design your home or any other workspace or any space that needs to be designed. Now there are various aspects to it. Let me explain. So what happens is that one option is that you can do it yourself. Two is that you have an option of hiring the contractors, like you have carpenter, you have painter, you have a civil guy, kadiya, and you have the plumber, and you have maybe the soft furnishing guy, and a whole lot of things. So you have the option of hiring these people separately. One. Two, you have the option of doing it yourself. Three, you have the option of hiring the interior designer. Now, what happens when you do it yourself? So, when you do it yourself, you have to find all these contractors, and you have to use your head and your time to design the space. Now, when we talk about designing the space, it is not only the space planning, but also also designing the entire space, which keeping all the elements of the design into mind, so that your house, your home, or your workspace reflects your personality, and it is in harmony with the flow. I hope you are understanding what I'm saying. And you could ask me questions. You can put down your comments below, and I will try to answer them. If any question pops up in your mind, please feel free to put down in the comments below, and I will answer. I will answer to them. So what happens is that you somewhere, because you are not an expert, somewhere there is a mismatch, and plus there is a lot of coordination that is required, and you get lost. And what happens is that along with you, your project also suffers. So point number one, I would say, is ruled out. Two is that you hire different contractors for your home. Now, when it comes to your home or your space, it's one project, right? It's one project. As a whole, it is one project. All these contractors who are whom you hire are different individuals. Each one is skilled, but each one is skilled in their own field. For example, a carpenter, he is only good with woodwork. A painter is only good with painting. Electrical will be only good with electrical. Your false ceiling guy will be only good with false ceiling. So likewise, the kadiya, the for soft furnishing, and everybody for that matter. So in there, if you're getting only the carpentry job, and then you are hiring a carpenter, still makes sense. But still, he's a carpenter. He can execute the work, but he is not a designer, and he cannot design the work. And but if you are just showing him something to be just replicated or something, then okay, fine. Still, there is some kind of a mismatch that happens. So when you hire these different contractors, it becomes very difficult for you as an individual to bring in all the elements together in order to create that project as one of your best output in terms of space planning, in terms of designing. So that is also, it becomes a problem. Now is the third point where I say that you hire an interior designer. Now, what are the positives that you get from an interior designer, or when you hire just one single person as an interior designer to design your space, whether be it a home or be it an office or any other workspace? One of the biggest point is that your time, efforts, and money is saved. How that happens? Now that happens because one, you have to deal with only one person, and that one person is an expert in designing. So when we say designing, that person is an expert in your space planning, and then taking on those designs in order to complete and give you the output that you are looking out for. This person, you are here, this is your interior designer, and here are all your contractors. So the interior designer is a link between you and the contractors. Normally what happens is that as an interior designer, already has his or her set of contractors or team who work for them, so they understand, and there's a good tuning between the two of them. So your headache is lesser. You need to just coordinate with the interior designer. So when you give brief to the interior designer as to this is what I want, and this is what I'm looking forward to, then the interior designer takes those that brief and translates it into your space planning and designing and stuff, and gets executed with all the contractors. So your headache to coordinate with so many people gets reduced to only coordinating with one person, and that person is an expert. So that makes a lot of more sense. Secondly, what happens is that secondly, what happens is that you save out on your time. Now, when we say you save out on your time, in the sense that when you have to coordinate with a lot of people, then there is maybe the project may take more time than what is required, and time is money. So when you coordinate with your interior designer, it is very, very important that there is an understanding between you and the interior designer on the handing over the keys back to you on time, or there's a time commitment from you, from the interior designer to you. Whereas when you are dealing with different people, and who are skilled, of course, in their own rights, but do not have an overall understanding of all the aspects of interior designing, it is bound to take more time, and linking all the jobs together becomes a challenge. So that is another plus point, and I would say a drawback, if you look at that. Now and when you save time, obviously you save a lot of money. Secondly, what happens is when you hire an interior designer actually plans your project so well that there is a flow of the project goes very smooth and sturdy, because of which because of the proper planning, we save a lot of money, and there is less of wastage. uh, Thirdly, what happens is that you get, when it comes to your space planning, when it comes to your designing, and again when it comes to your execution and the end result of the project, the quality that you get when you hire an interior designer is much higher than if you will get it done from individual contractors. आपने फेविकॉल की बुक देखी है? सो दे यूजुअली वुड गेट दोज फेविकॉल का बुक्स एंड सब, मैडम ये बना दें, ये वाला ऐसा वाला बना दें, ऐसा वाला बना दें, एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट. सो यू डोंट गेट समथिंग आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स. योर ब्रीफ इज नॉट ट्रांसलेटेड. व्हाट इज अवेलेबल, आपको वही, what is available, those designs only will be shown to you, and you have to select something from there. Thirdly, what happens is that when you hire an interior designer, especially when it comes to inner space interior designing and consultation, what we do is that we actually take a thorough check make a thorough checklist on what is already available with the client, and that can be reused. That is point number one. Point number two is that especially when it comes to, like, say, wardrobes and stuff, so there's a whole lot of stuff, and wardrobe, it looks like one unit, but there is a lot that goes into a wardrobe management or wardrobe designing, based on what is your lifestyle, based on what is what is your role and goal that you play, what kind of clothes you wear, what kind of shoes you wear, and whole lot of things that goes into wardrobe. So we study that, and then we incorporate that into designing your wardrobe. So now what happens with that is that your life gets organized, because everything is very well organized and in place. And I am also an image consultant and a wardrobe stylist, so that adds on to the understanding of designing a wardrobe, which is again a skill, and it's a plus for the clients. Then okay, another few advantages, I've taken down few pointers there so that I don't miss out on any of the points, so I was just referring if I have missed out on something. Okay, so the two three more benefits which I will discuss is that the chances of errors, see, when we talk about interior designing, what you see at the end, the product that you see, end product that you see, there is a lot that goes behind that, a lot. Now, precision is one of the main points. Now, can you guess what will be the first point or the first step when an interior designing project is taken? Can somebody put down in the comments, or I'll explain them? Okay. So it's basically, the first step is to go and take the physical measurements of the space. And that has to be very, very precise. And at Inner Space, me and Ranjit, we go and take the measurements personally for every single project that we do, because that is your foundation. वहां पे आप गलत हो गए, तो then your entire thing will get screwed up. So उधर से हम लोग शुरू करते हैं, and then the clients also get the benefit of the networking that the interior designer has. So interior designer has a good amount of networking with the vendors and stuff, so you get a very good bet when it comes to going and buying the products. So, in Inner Space, interior designing and consultation, we do not believe in taking the discounts from the vendors. What we believe in is passing on those discounts that we get as an interior designer to the clients. So we that helps in getting the better quality product, and secondly at a competitive price. So that's where also the client wins and gets the benefit. Thank you, Manish bhai. Yeah, actually it does make a lot of difference. Everything starts from there. So that is another point which I wanted to discuss. And of course, at the because of the understanding of the elements of design, a better understanding of elements of design, the colors, the lines, the textures, and everything. So when everything put together, the project comes out to be beautiful. So the outcome is very beautiful when the project is done via an interior designer. And when we say interior designer, very, very specifically, I mean interior designers, because they are skilled, very well skilled and experienced in that particular field. So, inner space interior designing and consultation, we have 14 years of experience designing homes, clinics, and offices and bungalows. So, we have done variety of jobs, and in 2012, we have won an award for as the best interior designers Mumbai 2012, and also we got nominated, I think in 2013, I think we got nominated for NDTV interior designers as well. So though we did not get an award, but we did get nominated for it. So yeah, we love our job. We do it very passionately, and there are certain guidelines in place. We come from corporate background. We are management graduates, and after working in the corporates and learning and understanding the importance of quality, deadlines, and services. These three pointers that we learned from the corporate background made us chase our, or launch this passion of interior designing, which is an unorganized market, and give these three services, which is our USP for all our clients. So we believe in giving quality product. You know, we may not we do not like to compromise on the quality of the products or the raw material that we use, neither on the raw material that we use nor on the designs. We never compromise on that, and we never compromise on the deadlines and after sales service. So we have done more than 100 projects, and we love our job. We are here in this field out of passion, because we believe as a company and as a team, we add value in people's life. We organize people's life by organizing their homes. And we believe that if somebody's homes or the working space is organized, then their life definitely is organized. So for any kind of interior designing jobs, you can get in touch with Inner Space Interior Designing and Consultation. Or if you want to get in touch with any other interior designer, please go ahead and get your work done from an interior designer. So my I would end this live conversation with just one last suggestion or an advice, that hire the right kind of people for the right job. So, for interiors of any space, whether be it a home or be it your workspace, hire an interior designer. It could be us or it could be someone else with whom you are comfortable with, so that your project comes out to be as you had thought it should be. And I'm sure it will be. So let me see if there are any. Okay. So if anybody has any questions, please feel free to put down the questions, and I will answer all of them. Inner Space Interior Designing and Consultation has also launched Inner Space Kitchens and Home Solutions. And this is at Teen Petrol Pump. We have our showroom at Teen Petrol Pump along with Maple Ply uh, Decor. Um, right opposite the Teen Petrol Pump, it's at that corner. If you all know the space, we are experts in kitchens, and in the last 14 years we have done like n number of kitchens, and now we have a separate unit working only on the kitchens, and we have interior designing separately, and we take turnkey projects, and we also offer home solutions where we have the white goods, all the kitchen appliances we supply, and one of our favorites is the dishwasher, of course. And during this lockdown, I'm sure we all know the importance of dishwashers, and it is a boon according to me. And besides that, we also have Fenesta window systems, which is a beautiful product. So for any of these requirements, you can definitely either DM me, or you can get in Google out on for Inner Space Interior Designing and Consultation, and you can get in touch with us. And once the lockdown is called off, then we can get going with the projects, and looking forward to coming back to the normal life, and everyone healthy, and we can conduct lives and our businesses uh, more smoothly. And until then, um, stay safe, stay at home. um, let's do this for our country. um, it's a very small thing. We all need to contribute in our own little way, and that contribution is not in terms of money, not in terms of anything else, but only in terms of little bit of understanding, and that understanding is stay at home. Stay at home and stay safe, and save your country. So let's save India, and keep smiling, stay positive, stay healthy, and take care of your mental health too. Bye bye. Thank you.